Hello, everyone, and welcome to Fit Chicks Chat. My name is Amanda Quinn, and on today's podcast, this is part of our Grad Spotlight Series. And today we have Whitney Hass joining us. Hi, Whitney. How are you?
I'm good. How are you? Hi, everyone.
I'm good, thank you. So Whitney is joining us because, as I mentioned, this is part of our Grad Spotlight Series where we're spending this entire week just showcasing some of our graduates of the Fitness and Nutrition Expert certification, sharing more details about their journey becoming a health coach, their fears, the things that they came up against, what they are now doing, and just sharing some insights into that. So Whitney, I would love to start off by asking you just sort of why you got started as a health coach. Like, what sort of triggered that feeling for you when you decided, like, oh, you know what, I actually think I want to go that route and start teaching health and fitness?
So I have always just really loved exercising and food. My journey with the whole process started back in 2016. And then as I progressed with my journey and figured out what worked for me going through different processes, it finally just hit me one day that this is something that I truly enjoy and I really want to help other people do. So
Yeah.
then I started searching for places to do this and then found Fit Chicks Academy and just loved it. So that's how that started.
That's amazing. And so, did you find though, before you made the decision to actually sign up to get certified to become a coach, like what were some of those fears or those thoughts that may have come into your mind? Because I know, like, even for us, when we started Fit Chicks Academy back in 2008, when we started our company, it was like, it wasn't necessarily our fears. It was a lot of people, external people, sort of shouting their fears at us, like, well, what if it doesn't work out? And what if it fails? And, like, are you crazy for doing this? And did you kind of run into any of those thoughts or those fears that coming up to you, and how did you get over them?
Oh, absolutely. It was definitely one of those, holy cow, I'm about to make this massive change. And what is this going to look like? And how is this all going to work? So it was definitely, I was in retail and I was just like, this is just not what is making me happy anymore. And I want something different. So it was very, before taking the plunge, it was just like, oh my goodness, is this something I'm really going to be able to do? Is it going to be something that I'm going to truly accomplish and create? And I just finally had to like press the button and do it and
Right.
not give it any more thought.
Right. And I think that's kind of the trick to it, right? Is it's just like you just do it. You do it, even you do it scared. Like, you're like, okay, I'm just going to take the leap of faith and see what happens. And you know what? The worst that can happen is that I learn a bunch of great information and I get educated and it changes my own health and everything else. And that's, not such a bad thing. Now,
Absolutely.
what did you think in terms of when you went through the fitness and nutrition expert certification? What was your experience like during that program?
It was really, I learned a whole lot. I learned things that I didn't think I was going to learn. It was definitely, you definitely have your moments where you're like, oh my goodness, I feel like I'm absorbing so much. Am I really, getting all of this in? But it definitely breaks you out of a lot of shells. And I really enjoyed that. It kind of pushed me to do certain things that I didn't think I could do. And then I did them and I was like, I did them.
And you just feel so good about it after. And
Yeah.
did you feel like it prepared you then for when you graduated to actually start working with clients? So I know that we'll talk about your business in a moment, but I mean, did you feel like super prepared when you graduated to just be like, you know what, I've been there, done that, and I can actually begin to work with clients and feel good about it and confident with it?
I really did. I felt like I got everything that I needed, and I really did. I felt prepared for everything. So it was really good.
That's amazing. And what did you feel like was in the program, what was your favorite module? Was it group fitness, personal training? I feel like nobody ever says anatomy. Maybe some people, but very few. Or the nutrition or the wellness portions. Or even
So
right? Because the business is like a bonus module, but I'm just curious.
yes.
I'm always curious to know what was the part that you just felt like you were like, oh gosh, like mind blown, like love this stuff.
The nutrition part for me was probably my favorite. The fitness part, that just gave me extra knowledge that I didn't have
Yeah.
because I truly enjoyed exercising beforehand, but like really understanding everything. The nutrition part is probably what was my favorite.
Yeah. Well, and that makes sense. I mean, your business is called Nutrition and Joy, which I love. I love that name. I think it's so great because good nutrition, movement, all the things can bring so much joy into your life. So I'm assuming that's where the name comes from. Um,
It is.
now, why don't you tell our listeners a little bit more about, since graduating, what have you decided to do and create for yourself? Because I know you have created your own business.
So when I finished everything, and nutrition being such a big part of what I have come to really love, um, and wanting that to be something that gives people joy. I think that when people think about food and they think about changing how they may eat food and get nutrition, that sometimes they feel like they just have to give things up. And I wanted to show people that you don't have to give things up. You can still enjoy all the things that you want to enjoy. You just enjoy them in a different way.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just something that was my really big focus, is to help people find joy in their nutrition.
I love that. I love that so much. And I think it's so important to think of it from that lens, because when we think of it as we're giving things up or we're getting rid of things that we enjoy, it brings us like such a negative feeling toward it. It's the same thing with the word like diet, right? Like people feel like as soon as they hear the word diet, it's such a negative thing, but it can be, diet is just like your eating approach. It's just the way that you are, it's the food that you're intaking, but it doesn't have to be a negative. It can just be the approach to how you decide to eat, but it's always just about the way that we see it and think of it. Now, what would you say right now in your business is one of the things that brings you the most joy?
It definitely brings me joy to talk to people about nutrition and just see like different light bulbs that happen with it, and go, this is what you can do and this is how this works. And, again, not giving things up and rearranging how you look at it. So I
Yeah.
think that that's just the thing that makes me the happiest with it.
And have you found that no, with your business, sorry, are you doing this in person or online or both?
It is online right now. Eventually I would love to get to in person. But yeah, it's all online right now, through everything. So it would just include like video chats and, interacting in that way.
That's amazing. That's so cool. And I think it's funny because there's a lot of our graduates that do both. But I think that the online piece is such a piece that most people are really adopting. And I think it's such an important piece to have in your business, because it gives you no barriers. It gives you the ability to work with anybody anywhere in the world. It gives you the opportunity to be able to start your business and be able to work from anywhere and all of those things, right? Like I always think about like the joys that I have of working online and working from home. And I just think it's one thing, if you can do that, it can bring you so much. There's so much, there's benefits to it, and then there's other things, but definitely I think that the benefits always outweigh anything. Um, so what would you say in terms of anyone who is considering getting certified with the Fitness and Nutrition Expert program? What would be your feedback to them?
I would tell them to just take that leap of faith and go do it. It's so scary when you first start to think about it. And there is, you know, there is a lot that you learn. And at moments you may feel like you're not going to absorb all of it, but you will. And it's amazing. And you come out on the other side and you're just like, oh my gosh, this was so worth it.
What would you say is your biggest piece of advice to anyone who is either just starting their coaching career or just getting started, like about to take that leap of faith, sign up for the Fitness and Nutrition Expert program, and then get certified? What would be your biggest piece of advice for them to start?
If it's a passion and you're truly passionate about it, it's definitely worth taking that risk. You guys were just amazing with everything. I got so much help. There was so much, you know, coaching and encouragement that went on through the entire program. And it was amazing.
That's awesome. And I think, your piece of advice about if it's something you're passionate about, to like really do that. I always say that to people. I'm like, if there is like this light inside of you that feels like it's dimming because you're not sharing this knowledge, and you want to like pursue health and fitness, and you want to be a part of this industry, and you want to be able to like help other people change their health, change their lives, everything else, like listen to that message. And I feel like as long as you listen, you will always be successful, as long as you just
Absolutely.
like actually follow that pathway. If you keep just pushing it off to the side, then Obviously it just will never happen for you, but I think as long as you're passionate about something, I can't see how you can't be successful at it. Would you say that to be true? Would you agree with that? Because do you feel like you're
Absolutely.
successful in your business as well?
I do, yes. So absolutely, yeah. It just, the passion's already there, and sometimes that's half the battle.
Yeah,
This part is just getting all the knowledge that you need to be able to do it to help people.
exactly. Exactly. It's like the one missing piece of the puzzle is just the certification piece. That's amazing. Well, Whitney, thank you so much for joining me today and for sharing more about your journey and what it is that you're doing now. For anyone who's interested in learning more about Whitney and Nutrition and Joy, which is her business, make sure you check out the show notes for more details about her company, her Instagram handle, all that kind of stuff is in there. So you can check it out. You can connect with her. And of course, for anyone listening right now or checking this out, our fitness and nutrition expert certification starts on April 5th. So if you have that whisper, if you have that feeling inside of you that is saying, yes, this is probably the path for me, make sure that you enroll today. Don't miss out. It starts on April 5th, and you can check it out at fitchicksacademy.com/FNE. All right, everyone, thank you so much for listening, and we will see you again for tomorrow for our next episode of the Grad Spotlight Series. Bye, everyone, and thank you so much again, Whitney.
Thanks.